Peace and light, everybody. My name is Saliym Cooper. I am the founder of Brevity Book Space. It is a small mobile bookshop that was roaming around Wilmington. I mean, not right now because there's snow outside. Also, it's a pandemic. But I will be soon, post. It's good to see you all again. It's good to be here. This is part 2 of Text Exchange Tuesdays, which I will be leading today. And then I'll pass it over to Newton. Last time that we spoke or that we gathered together, Joe Biden had been sworn in, no more Trump, thank God. And I talked about Black artists, particularly poets, writers, creatives, being tired and fed up of being used and performing for the white gaze. And yeah, that's what we talked about. But this time, I want to talk about something a little lighter. But I still wanted to delve into race and culture and everything that we have going on and things that we know are happening but don't like to talk about. And with that said, before I get into the piece that I'm going to read, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite independent magazines. It's called Skin Deep, Race and Culture, and I will be reading from the beautiful, stunning food issue. A little bit about Skin Deep. The founder and editor-in-chief, her name is An Uong. She's a dear friend of mine. She is one of the most caring, erudite, forward-thinking, intentional, music-conscious, gracious people that I have ever met. And she gave me the opportunity to publish my work in, I believe it's issue 5, The Spectacle, a really weird short story that I don't think anyone else would have taken. But she believed in me and she published it, and it's an honor to see them grow, not only outside of printed media but online. And then she also has a movie. It'll be on Netflix soon called Rock. So yes, Anu, I love you. I appreciate you. But yeah, so Skin Deep. I'll be reading you a portion of Ketchup Spaghetti by An Uong. It was between this and the closing story that was called Love is a Thing You Eat. Love is a Thing That Eats You. But I decided to read Ketchup Spaghetti for you here today, and then I'll read a little bit from the editor's note as well. But I wanted us to take a moment in the cold to think about what warms us and what brings us joy and what we tap into when we're cold and when we feel lonely. And food for me is that thing. Outside of writing, food is definitely that thing. And the thing that I love the most about this essay is the warmth that it brings me whenever I read it, but then also how it expands my notion of food as well. So without further ado, Ketchup Spaghetti. Every once in a while, I am overtaken by a blinding desire for pasta. I want to sprint down the street to the nearest Italian restaurant. There are exactly 3 near my flat, and order as quickly as I can. This last happened a few months ago while I was staying at a hotel for work. After check-in, I passed by Agio Ristorante, a lonesome cavern of mid-century modern light fixtures and burgundy carpet. I knew I would come back. It's a magnetism seated deep within my Vietnamese-American palate, one in which pasta's foreign taste became a comforting stand-in in my childhood home. A new life in a new country meant new ingredients for my mother. Her favorite ingredients weren't available at the market, and so durians were replaced with blueberries, rice noodles with bow tie pasta. What was she to do with strange fruits and vegetables she had never tasted before? Her answer was to experiment. That evening, before my coworker and I slid into our quiet spot by the window, I was already eyeing the menu over our waiter's shoulder. Create your own pasta, one of the headings said. I glimpsed the options: angel hair, fusilli, spaghetti, linguine, pesto, marinara, alfredo, olive oil, meatballs, Italian sausage, shrimp, chicken. My head spun with possibilities. I ordered, I devoured, and that night I slept soundly. For many immigrant children, it's normal to eat and enjoy foods outside of their own culture. Migration demands it. Families plunged into strange worlds with unfamiliar grocery stores make do with what they have. The first time I ate spaghetti, it was one of the few non-Vietnamese meals my mother had learned to prepare when we migrated to the US. We hadn't even considered giving it a go until my mother heard from a friend that ketchup lends a tangy flavor to the sauce. Way better than that ragu stuff, she said to us one afternoon. It was settled. We would try it. That's just the beginning, because I don't want to keep you too long. But a brilliant story about memory and taste and expanding through movement and migration. But this is a little bit about the issue, so you know what you're getting into with these works, because there's poets and activists and installation artists, and you can even rip the recipes out of the magazine. It's brilliant, but I want to read you a bit of the editor's note. What is food? How is it made? Where do the ingredients come from? Why do we associate certain feelings and memories with certain dishes? Who gets to eat and who doesn't? And what does silverware have to do with it? The questions we ask or don't ask about food say a great deal about our relationship to it. Scarcity is a relationship that many people across the world have with food, and yet, for others, it remains inconceivable because their eating lives are defined by overabundance and overwhelming choice. What is laid out on the dinner table, floor spread, or on a tray sitting in front of a television holds so much information about who we are and the access that we have to one of the crucial ingredients for the sustenance and enjoyment of life. Food is a manifestation of creativity, generosity, and community, or lack of it, but it is also a marker of vulnerability. Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You can find out more information about Skin Deep, the food issue, and where to purchase it, Anu, her movie, and anything else you want. It's going to be in the description below, and I'm passing it now on to Newton.
Hello, Medell Shakes family. Newton Buchanan here, and I'm going to be bringing you your next installment of the Shakespeare Text Exchange. You'll have to excuse me. There's some strong winds hitting my windows, so you may hear some calamity in the background. There's also a feline here as well. Thank you, Saliym, for passing that along to me. I had a wonderful time hearing that excerpt of that story, and I had a lot of things came up for me. One of them being nostalgia and just memories of me being a child and my experiences with food and how that comes about. I think it's amazing how food smells and the taste of food can really kind of attach to memory and create these kind of snapshots of moments for us that we can then unpack like a key when we smell or taste that same thing again. The same is true, I believe, for music. There's certain music that can be attached to and take a snapshot of a moment for us. I think that's really awesome. What else the passage did for me is made me think of a couple Shakespeare pieces. So I'd like to read them for you. First, I'll read them through, and then kind of discuss how they make me feel. The first is from Midsummer Night's Dream. It's Act 4, Scene 2. And, most dear actors, eat no onions or garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath, and do not doubt but to hear them say, it is a sweet comedy. No more words. Away. Go away. Very awesome. In here, I think it talks about like, you are what you eat. You know, you are what you eat. You are what you put in your body is what you put out, is what people see and what you put out. So be mindful. There's a lot of big lesson there, I think. The second one is from 12th Night, Act 1, Scene 1. I'm going to read it and talk a little bit about it. If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it. That surfeiting, the appetite may sicken and so die. Ah, that strain again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. O spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, not enters there. Of what validity and pitch so o'er, but falls into abatement and low price, even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical. Just a wonderful take on music and love and food all in one little package there. So that's my response. See you around.